Hey guys, so it's been a while since I filmed anything for this channel, and especially anything book related. I think it's been nearly a year since I filmed a book related video, so yeah, definitely slipped on that a bit. But yeah, a YouTuber I watch, well, YouTuber, actress, whatever, if you watch my channel far back enough, you know that I'm a fan of Carrie Hope Fletcher, and she's been doing a lot of like book related videos recently, so I thought I'd give some of the tags a go. So this video is the tag that she kind of created. It was a spin on a different tag that's floating around BookTube. But yeah, it's called the Heathers tag. So there are 10 questions related to songs in Heathers, and you basically just have to find a book that fits in with the theme of the song. So yeah, let's get started. So first song is Beautiful. So the question for this is prettiest book in your collection. So this tends to be more not paperbacks, hardbacks, sorry. Like I said, I haven't done these videos in a while. But yeah, and I tend to buy paperbacks more than hardbacks, but I do have a couple, and the first one that came to mind was Court of Miracles by Kester Grant. So this book is a reimagining of Les Mis from Epony's point of view, and really loved it, really enjoyed it, and will probably read it again further down the line, but not right now. And yeah, I just like it. I like, you know, it's just two colours, well, a bit of white as well. Inverted image, so you've got gold building that way, and then you flip it and you've got Paris, so you've got Notre Dame, and I don't know what the other buildings would be because obviously it's period. But yeah, I also like the back that you can see various symbols, and they symbolise the various guilds within the court. So yeah, love the book and like the cover. Next song is Fight For Me. Question is a character that's loyal till the end, and I had to think about this a little bit, but the one that comes to mind is Hunter in The Last Family in England. So this book is about a Labrador called Hunter, and it's all from his point of view about how he tries to keep his family together, that it's his mission to and responsibility to keep family together, and it helps protect humans. Yeah, so it starts off, he's in the vet, he's about to be put down for something he's done, and the entire book is centering around to what the events that led up to him actually attacking another dog. But yeah, he's loyal till the end, right up, and like I said, from start to finish, he's saying how much he loves his family and how much he would literally do anything for them. So yeah, I'm going to go with Hunter from Last Family in England by Matt Haig. Couldn't think who was by then. The next song is Deco Walking, and the title is The Steamiest Book You Own. I don't think this is necessarily the steamiest book I own, but it definitely popped in my head as soon as I read this question, which is Friend Zone by Abby Gemenzi, I want to say. I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that surname, but yeah. So I read this, I think, beginning of last year, and yeah, there's definitely a lot of sex in it. And well, I say a lot of sex, there's not a lot of sex in it, but it's very detailed in the sex scenes that there are. So yeah, not necessarily the steamiest book I own, but definitely up there. So the next song is The Me Inside of Me, and the question is a book that made you feel less alone. Now I've gone for a kind of obscure choice in a sense, not that the book is obscure, it's just the answer to this one. So I'm going for Mad Girls by Bryony Gordon. I read this in 2018. It was lent to me to my sister, but as you can see I still own it, so it's technically mine now. And it's biographical in the sense of it's her talking about dealing with mental health issues during different stages of her life. And yeah, like I said, I don't talk about it on this channel a lot, but obviously like everyone, I do struggle with mental health, and at the time there were a lot of things in there that I think, oh yeah, I felt that sometimes. So yeah, I didn't necessarily enjoy the book overall, because I think it was a bit, at the time it was a bit raw for me, but yeah, definitely helped to see someone else talk about like mental health issues. The same for like Matt Haig's two books, was A Note on a Nervous Planet and Reason to Stay Alive. It was kind of the same, so a lot of like mental health ones I tend to gravitate to within that sense. The next song is You're Welcome, and the question is a book where a character gets a comeuppance. And once again, another one I kind of struggled with because I don't necessarily have those like big rivalries in books. Like there are rivalries, but they kind of, it's not necessarily comeuppance at the end. But the one that I did come up with was When the Curtain Falls by Cara Hill Fletcher, ironically. Yeah, so the character that gets comeuppance is Hamish, who is probably the most, if you think of a villain, Hamish is probably the most stereotypical kind of villain. And yeah, so the book centres, if you haven't read it, or I have mentioned it before, but I'll give a brief overview. So it centres around two couples, Fawn and Walter in the 50s and Olive and Oscar in modern day. And they both, well, Fawn is in a production of When the Curtain Falls in the 50s, and then Olive and Oscar are in the modern day version. And yeah, there's kind of strange happenings within the theatre, and yeah. And the strange happenings, they believe it's Fawn not happy about Olive playing the role, because we know Fawn is a ghost, that's not a spoiler, it's said in the prologue, so yeah. But when it flips between the two eras, you meet Hamish, who was the director back in the 50s of the show, and had an eye for Fawn then, and was pretty much blackmailing her, so it's nice at the end that he gets his comeuppance. So the next song is Never Shut Up Again, and the question is a book where a character has a mic drop moment. And yeah, I think I have a lot of books where like these moments are in there, but one that I think is definitely in there is, I'm going to say the name because it's the name, but yeah, Random Shit Flying Through the Air by Jackson Ford. This is the second book in the series, and I love both of them. It's probably one of my favourite series. And yeah, it centres around Tegan Frost, who has telekinetic powers. And the reason, and in this book, she's trying to track down a 4-year-old who has the ability to create earthquakes. So yeah, and who has intention of setting off the San Andreas fault line. So yeah, definitely a bit nail biting, little action in there, bit of comedy in a sense, but yeah, I enjoyed it. And her mic drop moment comes when, I'm trying to give an example without giving away the big plot, but if you read the book, there's a scene around the campsite where she's fighting the 4-year-old, and yeah, everyone's, including herself, underestimates her abilities, and she has a moment or a scene within that where she shows just how powerful she could be. So yeah, I like that one. So the next song is Our Love of God. The question is a book where two characters have a moment before shit hits the fan. And ironically, following on from the last question, I'm going with the first book in the series, which is A Girl Who Can Move Shit With Her Mind, also by Jackson Ford, obviously. Yeah, once again, about Tegan, and there's a moment in there, Tegan has a crush on a guy called Nick, and they're really close and all that, and there's a scene where, it's not a major spoiler, it's a slight spoiler, but not a major one, where she reveals to Nick what she can actually do, and they kind of have a conversation, and yeah. So it's kind of have a moment, but then immediately after, a SWAT team storms the room to try and capture her. So yeah, definitely shit hitting the store. The next song is My Dead Gay Son, and the question is a book where a parent accepts a child for who they are. And random choice, I know, because of the title of the song, you'd think I'd try to go for one where there's a gay character and his parents accept him, or friends, or wherever, but I don't have too many of them. I know that it is featured in some of my books, but the one that actually came to mind for me is The Rosy Result by Graham Simpson. And yeah, it's a bit obscure, but it is, I think it does fit the question. So the series, this is the third book in the series, centers around, what's his surname? Don Tillman. And the first book is him looking for a girlfriend. Second one is him now married and his wife expecting a child. And the third one, which is this one, is about him dealing with his son as he's a bit older. But yeah, so the son, Hudson, it becomes quite obvious from the, if you've read the other books, that Hudson actually has autism, but it's undiagnosed at the time. I will spoil it, he does get diagnosed towards the end of the book. Well, self-diagnosed anyway. And yeah, Don's just thinks he's an awkward child like he was, and is trying to do everything in his power to help his son in regards to fitting in and what he thinks needs to be done to fit in. And towards the end of the book he realises that he doesn't actually do that. Hudson's not sad, he's not miserable, he's happy with his life as it is, and it's just what suits him. So towards the end of the book, Don actually accepts Hudson knows what he likes and is happy. So yeah, that was the first one that came to mind for that question. So the next song is I Say No, so a book where a character has a moment where they stand up for themselves, and obscure book in a sense. I don't really know that many people read it, but I don't really know that many people that read. And it's The Magician's Lie by Greer McAllister. I want to say that's what the first name is, but yeah, that's probably back and front for you guys. So yeah, so how to describe what her stand-up moment is without giving away a major part of the book. So Arden is a female magician, and she's currently being held captive by sheriff, or imprisoned by sheriff, and interrogated on suspicion of killing her husband. And yeah, everyone around her who knows her doesn't blame her for killing her husband if she did do it, because he was very abusive. So that was kind of her stand-up moment in that regard. So yeah, I'm not going to give any more away, but yeah, that's the book. If you read the book, you'll know why I've picked that one. So the final song in the tag is Kindergarten Boyfriend, and the question is a book where a character is hopeful to the end. Now, like I said, I got this tag from Carrie Fletcher, and the book she picked for this question I think is just the perfect answer, so I'm going to go with that one as well, which is The Finding of Martha Lost by Caroline Wallace. Yeah, I just had to check the surname then, because this author has written under both her maiden name and her surnames. I just had to confirm which one it was, but yeah. So if you've not read it, Martha was found in a lost property office in Liverpool Lime Street Station as a baby, and she's lived there ever since. And this is her trying to find out where she came from, in a sense, but she's also been led to believe by the woman who raised her that she can't leave the station. So yeah, but all the way throughout, no matter what happens, she does remain hopeful and positive. And like I said, I think this is just the perfect epitome of that question. So yeah, those are my answers to those questions. Don't get me wrong, I know there are probably better books I could have picked, but they were just the ones that came to mind to me. But yeah, I'm going to leave this here now. I do have another book video that'll come out in the next couple of days, possibly next week, depends on when I get around to editing it, which is the follow-up to the Do I Have That Book challenge, which I did, I think, end of 2019 maybe, beginning of 2020. So yeah, I'm going to go, and I'll see you guys again soon for another book video.